This video is asking about, this video is analyzing whether or not a person should go to college. Some person asked me this question. Said, do you recommend people to go to college? I mean, honestly, I think college has become more of a business, more of a way of making money rather than true education. I think we live in at a period of time where college isn't really necessary, especially with so much technology and the internet and so much information being exchanged and access to the library and so much access to information and knowledge that it's really not that necessary anymore. But it's still there because it's a very effective method of generating income. I mean, so much money is involved. I mean, colleges bring in an immense amount of money. It provides an immense amount of jobs, and people are just getting involved, working, making money. And then there's these football teams playing in colleges, and it's just bringing in an immense amount of money from that avenue. It's like college is a big business. It generates so much money and jobs and everything. So colleges will be here no matter how outdated it is, no matter how inefficient it is, no matter how unpractical and unuseful it is. It's gonna be here, and the people will always, there's always gonna be people that are promoting you to go to college because it's like promotion of jobs and economy, rather than just having you sit home and do nothing. They want you to go to college to do something rather than just be a lazy bum. They want you to go to college, and my thing is this: if you could find a way to go to college for free, then grasp the opportunity. My thing is, if you could get paid, or if you could receive free education, then grasp the opportunity. If you can even get paid to become educated, then grasp the opportunity. If you could get financial aid from the government and you don't even have to pay them back, you get financial aid to go to college and you don't even have to pay that back, then grasp the opportunity. Because essentially you're receiving credentials, you're receiving training without having to pay for it. So anytime you can receive credentials without having to pay for it, it's a smart thing to do. Now the next thing is, why do you want to go to college? Now if your goal is to make more money, and having a college degree will help you make more money, and you could somehow get this college degree for free, or you could get it for really low pay. So say somebody said, hey, you know what, I'll give you a bachelor's degree for $1, then hey, that's a good investment. It's only $1, or even $10. Say, you know what, I'll give you a bachelor's degree for $10, then that's a good investment. But the problem is, when this bachelor's degree or whatever degree it is, associate's, bachelor's, master's, PhD, if these degrees are overpriced and your objective is to make more money and these degrees are overpriced, then it's not really a smart investment. Okay, so meaning, like say it's compared to buying a home. If you could buy a home for $10,000 and then 5 years later you could sell it for $200,000, you just profited $190,000. That's a good investment. But if you buy a home for $200,000 and then 5 years later it's only worth $10,000, then you lost $190,000, and that's not a good investment. So with the college degree, you have to ensure in some way that it will help you make more money. And then the money that you pay for the college degree, it's got to be something that's not overly priced, in which to take away from your ability to profit. So meaning, if the college degree costs say it costs $500,000, it's $500,000 for that college degree, and then you get it for $500,000, but then you only make $10,000 more per year with that college degree, then it's not a good investment. So meaning, if you're making $20,000 with a year without that college degree, and then you get the college degree and you paid $500,000 for it, and then now after you got that college degree you're making $30,000 a year, okay, you're making $10,000 more than you would have, but you still owe $500,000, and it's gonna take you like a lot. It's gonna take you 10,000 times, or 10,000 times 10 is 100,000. You know, it's gonna take you a very long time to pay that off. You know, like $10,000 more in a year, it's gonna take you at least over 5 years to pay that off. You know, so that, in my eyes, is not really a good investment. It's all about investments and profit and return if you're gonna get your money back. You know, so if you're making $50,000 and then that college degree will ensure that you're gonna make $100,000 a year instead of $50,000 a year, and that college degree costs $500,000, and then you're making $50,000. Back to my other one. If you're making $10,000 more per year, it's gonna take you 10 years to get $100,000. So then it's gonna take you 10 times 5. It's gonna take you forever to pay that thing off. You know, I mean, it's like $100,000 a year. You know, $100,000. It would take you 10 years. So you think about it. 50 years to pay off that degree? No. But say you make $50,000 more, and now you make $50,000 in 1 year more. Then you times that by, you know, 50,000. You know, it will take you like 10 years to pay it off. You know? I mean, it's just all about investing your money in something that's worth it. You know? And it's all about investments. If you could get a college degree for $20,000, you know, and the college degree is going to help you make $20,000 more per year, then it's only going to take you a year to pay it off, and that's a good investment. You know, but the problem is these college degrees do not guarantee employment. I've seen it happen time and time again, where people spent like $200,000 or more for a college degree and they can't even find a job. And when they do find a job, they're getting paid the same amount of money than somebody that didn't even go to college. So then basically they're like $200,000 in the hole. You know, and honestly, if I had $200,000, I would not go to college with that. I would invest that money in a business. I would invest that money in a home. I would invest that money in ways of profiting with that money. And there's a lot of ways that you can invest that money where you can make more money from that investment. Another thing that you gotta realize is that Bill Gates is one of the richest people in the entire world. And it's a known fact that he dropped out of college. You know, and he's like the richest person to ever. You know, so college will never guarantee you to be rich. College will never guarantee you to be intelligent. College will never guarantee that you'll be successful. Now, I'm all about education, but I am speaking against overpriced education of which you cannot afford. You know, college loans are the only loans that you can never, like, get rid of. Every single other loan you could get rid of. If you borrow $500,000, you know, in business loans, then if your business goes bankrupt, then you don't have to pay those loans back. If you buy a home for $500,000 and then all of a sudden you can't pay the bills and then the place forecloses, then you don't have to pay that money anymore. But if you have $500,000 in college loans, those loans will be sticking with you for the rest of your life. You can't get away from those loans. So I'm against that. I'm against the society promoting poor people to go to colleges that are overpriced, and then now they live the rest of their lives slaving away, paying off these student loans of which the degree didn't even help them get anywhere in life. So somebody spends $100,000 or $200,000 on a college degree, and then he only makes $2 more per hour or something like that. That's just completely outrageous. You know, like, I disagree. I strongly disagree to that. I promote affordable education. It just doesn't make sense when people are coming out of college with loans that are over $100,000. I mean, how are you supposed to pay those loans off? Even if the degree helped you make $10,000 more per year, it's still going to take you 10 years to pay off that $100,000 loan. And then that loan's going to be accumulating interest, so it's going to take longer than 10 years. It's probably going to take like 14 years to pay that loan back. And that's going to set you so far back in life when you have to pay back $150,000 in loans, $200,000 in loans. How are you supposed to even move on with your life? How are you supposed to buy a home, buy a car, have kids, or do anything with your life when you got such a huge loan that you got to pay back? I completely disagree with the overpriced educational system. Now, as far as education is concerned, with junior high school and high school, and everything's already paid for by the state and nothing's coming out of your pocket because everything's already paid for by property tax, I'm all for that. I'm all for affordable education with the internet, where you can just log on and find out whatever information you need to find. I'm all for the public libraries where you can just walk in there and rent out books for free, and you know, you don't have to pay any money, and then you can learn so much. I'm all for that. But I'm completely against, you know, taking advantage of the poor by pretty much scamming the poor into signing their life away for a loan of which they don't know what they're getting involved in. Next thing you know, by the time they're intelligent enough to realize what happened, it's too late. They're already 30 years old with a $300,000 loan over their head, and they can't get out of it. There's nothing they can do to get out of it. They're stuck with that loan. And they're miserable. I disagree with that completely. But if you could get a college degree for $500, I'm all for that. Take advantage of that. You know, but this whole thing that's going on, you know, you have to really know, you have to take in all the numbers and really find out whether or not it's worth it. You know, make sure that you could afford what you're getting yourself into. Crunch out the numbers and see how much money you would make if you didn't go to college, and then how much money you would make with that degree, and then find out exactly how much it's going to cost to get that degree, and then crunch out the numbers. You know what I'm saying? If the degree helps you make $20,000 more per year than you normally would, and then it's going to cost you $100,000, then realize it's going to take at least 5 years or more to pay off that loan. And see if that's something that you're willing to do. You know, but in my eyes, you could be very successful without the degree. You just have to have that motivation and that drive to learn. And there's so many things that you can learn without having to overspend, you know, money that you don't have. But if you come from a wealthy family and, you know, your parents are worth millions and they don't have a problem just paying off your college, then hey, you know, go ahead, have fun. But most of us are not in that position. Most of us have to pay our own bills. And what I'm saying, just don't dig a hole so deep that you can't get out. You know what you're getting into. Find out exactly what you want to do. Find out how much money you're gonna make. And make the right decision for your future before it's too late. You know, if you don't think about what you truly want to do out of, you know, in your life, and you just start spending money that you don't have, you're just digging yourself deeper and deeper. And then next thing you know, it's too late. And I've met so many people in that circumstance, and it's a sad situation. You know, and it takes wisdom to not get involved in something before it's too late. Like, you learn from other people's mistakes, and you think things through before you do it. You know, so that's what I gotta say about that.